Hello and welcome in. It is July 23rd, the first day of San Diego Comic Con. I am not at San Diego Comic Con. I am in Arizona. I have been to the Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, a few times in my life. Most recently was like 2019, so it has been quite a few years since I've been around the convention. But I went a few times in the 2010s. Sometimes going in actually into the con, and some years just kind of hanging out and enjoying the parties because it takes over the whole of San Diego. But yeah, I haven't been down there. Yeah, this will be 7 years now. It has changed a lot over the years, and it's not something that I'm not a big con person to begin with. Cons aren't really my thing, so I don't feel like I'm missing out. I did them in my 20s, and they've changed quite a bit over the years. That I can get all the announcements I want from home and X and all the other social media platforms. So I'm not missing out on this one. But the thing I want to talk about is, will we hear any Disney announcements this week? With D23 coming, in the middle of August, I think it's going to be pretty quiet on the Disney side of things. Sometimes we do get a surprise here or there. Robert Downey Jr. made his big appearance, his big announcement. I think it was in 24. I don't think that was last year. It had to have been 24. So they may do something, but I kind of want to throw something out there that I did a little bit of research before this video, just kind of taking a look at Disney Picture films over the last 6 years, and even the things that have kind of like brought excitement and stuff. And this even goes to D23, Disney Pictures. I it's really sucked. It has not been good. That's the nicest way I can really put it. It's been bad since 2021, and I'm talking about theatrical releases. I'm also gonna um, I'm putting oh my god, Marvel to a side here, because that's been kind of a roller coaster of its own ever since we got Avengers Endgame. It just kind of feels like it's been all over the place, and some of it's been good, some of it's been bad, some of it's been scrapped completely. So I'm kind of putting Marvel to a side. I'm also putting a lot of their subsidiaries to the side, like 20th Century Fox, things like that. I'm not talking about Avatar. I'm not talking about any of those. I am going to talk about Pixar. I'm also throwing Star Wars to a side. My one thing with Mandalorian, I will just say right now, is I enjoyed the movie. The show was great, but the more and more now I've sat on Mandalorian, having seen it, 2 months ago, they screwed up, in my opinion. They greatly screwed up with The Mandalorian. That should have been a show that should have been a staple of Disney Plus for years. It could have been something that was so easy to make. So many episodes could have been created for not a great, not a crazy budget. They could have brought in so many different characters, different planets, different lifestyles within the Star Wars universe, and I feel like they fell flat with it because it was a Western. You don't need all these crazy characters that are coming back all the time. You could have created new things, 20-minute episodes. Your biggest star is a puppet. Grogu's a puppet. So, I mean, I feel like they screwed up on that because it looks like that thing is now done. There's no more Mandalorian. I feel like they really screwed that up. They end with 30 some episodes or something like that and a movie instead of having hundreds of episodes and going to all different parts of the universe. That would have been a lot of fun. I get there's a lot of different Star Wars shows out there and everything like that, but this could have really been like a staple show that like you could have attached. Hey, you get the Mandalorian with Disney Plus, because there really isn't that Disney Plus show. And you think a lot of these streaming services, there's always been that like, oh, Netflix had this right at the get go. House of Cards comes to mind on that one. Orange is the New Black, that was a big one when Netflix was starting to create their own content. Apple TV, Ted Lasso, that one always comes to mind, and so on and so on. There's always something attached that makes it successful, that always brings people back. Um, so that's my one thing on the Mandalorian. I'll throw that to the side. That's the end of that. Let's go through some of these titles that were announced, obviously at D23 or at Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con itself. So we'll start in 21. I'm not going to include 2020 because that was complicated. So we'll go to 2021, Raya and the Last Dragon. This one has some of the effects of the shutdown. I've seen it a few times. It's forgettable, unfortunately. I saw it at home. But it's one of those ones that it was a good movie. It probably got hurt more by the timing of its release than anything else. Not much you can do there, but it is a little bit forgettable. But one of the better ones on this list, which is pretty crazy to say. Let's go over to the next one, Cruella. It's kind of it is a live adaptation of 101 Dalmatians. It's kind of like the prequel to it, though. This was always going to be a hard sell. I was surprised when they announced it when they did many, many years ago, because no one wants to see a movie or you see the background story of someone that kills dogs. That's just not going to be someone that you win over. Emma Stone, I thought, did as good as she possibly could with the character. I only saw it once again, saw it at home. If I remember right, pretty mixed reviews on it, but that's just turning in one of your biggest villains into a story, and that's tough to sell. It's tough to get behind someone that turns into that, and yeah, you're never really gonna have a lot of oh, I really am rooting for this person when you know that's going on. So that was always a tough sell, and that was always a hard live action to turn, in my opinion, especially from the point of view that they picked. Jungle Cruise is the next one. I remember they threw a lot at this. I will forever remember, like, The Rock went to Disneyland and, they did all that stuff. And, I want to say I liked this movie, but the sad thing about it, I saw this one in theaters. I know that. I've seen it once or twice since. Very forgettable. I remember certain parts here and there, but very forgettable film. And that's kind of a trend you're going to see with a lot of these Disney movies, which is, in my opinion, a problem that 5 years later, in certain cases, I've completely forgotten about the film. Jungle Cruise, I kind of remember, but this is also Disney doing that same thing that they've been trying to replicate for 20 plus years now. They had a banger with Pirates of the Caribbean, and they've tried to do it with a lot of other attractions, and it just hasn't hit. And this is one of those ones that I've just kind of forgotten over time. It's probably one of the better Disney ride movies that they've made too, which is sad, but forgettable. Forgettable is the first word that comes to mind. We'll go to the end of 21, Encanto. This was a good one. Great music, still very well liked by many people. This one was well made. And definitely haven't forgotten about this one. There's not much more I gotta say about this one. This one was good. This one did its job right, and they did a good job here. I'm going to include some Pixar. So Luca came out this year. I remember Luca pretty well. I thought this one was a little bit more on the flatter side, though, for Pixar. Kind of ranking in probably that bottom third for me. I remember the characters, which is great. Just not one of my favorites, but got the job done. So Pixar, Luca, I'll give it at least a thumbs up of it was rememberable, fun story, did its job, hasn't been forgotten. Let's go to 22. The first one in 22, we got two Pixars right off the bat. Turning Red, not one of my favorites. This one did not feel like a Pixar film to me. I know there's a lot of people that really enjoy this film. For me, I was not one of them. Just not a big fan of it. Just did not feel like Pixar at all. And that was really, I remember when that movie came out, that my first question that I had for myself is, have I officially grown out of Disney and Pixar? Which I don't think that's what you want the reaction to be from someone that really loves Disney and Pixar. That was my first reaction to that movie was, have I grown out of Pixar? And am I no longer an audience they are targeting at all? Like, am I just not there? that was kind of my reaction to that film. Not a big fan. So next one, this one kind of doubled down on it a little bit, actually, was Lightyear. Lightyear was bad. They had a real opportunity here to create something really, really cool, and they made something really, really bad. I remember socks, and that's about it. I remember the cat, and I remember that movie would never want me to buy a Buzz Lightyear doll at all. Would have made me want to buy a socks cat. That's it. So they messed up there. 22 was bad because I just saw the next film. Strange World, terrible. Another one, completely forgot about. It's been 4 years since that movie came out. I definitely saw it once. Maybe I've seen it twice. Terrible. That was a bad film. Let's go to 23. We'll start with a Pixar here right off the top. Elemental, very good. Liked it a lot. Great with the characters. Great visuals. Was a big fan of Elemental. I wish it would have done better in the box office, but Elemental I enjoyed a lot. So Elemental was a win. We'll go from a win to a big loss. These live adaptations are just terrible. Little Mermaid, terrible. Just I got nothing else to say. Terrible. I don't know why. I mean, I know it's going to a spot now, and I'll get to it here at the end. Actually, I'll just go into it right now. Disney might finally be getting to a spot where they're losing money on these films, and they can't do them anymore. Because for a long time, they were making a lot of money on these films. That is not the case anymore. We'll get into Moana. We'll get into Lilo and Stitch, I think, probably made money. I don't remember. But Moana is getting crushed right now in the box office. But Little Mermaid made money. I didn't like it. I thought it was weird. I thought some of these are just not needed, and they're just money grabs, and that felt like a money grab. And I didn't like it. I thought it was bad. It wasn't necessary. It just wasn't needed to happen. Indiana Jones also came out that summer. I completely forgot about that. I saw it, and I'll be completely honest with you, I don't remember any of it. I had to open up the Wikipedia page and read the plot. And once I got a little bit into the plot on the Wikipedia page, I was like, oh, yeah, now I remember what this is all about. I had to go to the Wikipedia page to remember this movie. That's not good. I know my memory is not 100% sharp like it was in my 20s, but I should remember a movie like that. And I didn't. That's pretty bad. Let's get to another one. Haunted Mansion. This goes back to the whole Jungle Cruise thing. They've tried with Haunted Mansion multiple times, and it just seems to fall flat. This was another one, fell fairly flat, didn't get received very well. I don't have too much more to say about it. I saw it at home. I didn't go to the theaters on that one, but fell flat. My biggest thing I remember is it was based in New Orleans, and yeah, I was making quite a few trips to New Orleans around that time, so that was pretty fun. Last animated film, Disney Pictures film from that year, Wish. Should just be deleted from the Disney archive. That bad. Not much more to say there. 24, Inside Out 2. Very good. I don't have a whole lot more to say outside of very good. Characters are fantastic. Visuals are very good. Pixar did a really, really good job with this one. Had 2 in a row here that were solid. Loved it. Big thumbs up on Inside Out 2. That really kind of stole the summer of 24. So they had a win there. Moana 2, there's a lot to be said on this one. This should not have been released to theaters. It was a money grab, in my opinion. Should have just left this one straight to Disney Plus. There's whole stories behind it. Don't need to go into it. But they were money grabbing and just not as good. So I'll just leave it at that. Mufasa, another one that I watched. I forgot I watched it. but it kind of goes back into that whole thing of this one also kind of felt like a hey, we can turn anything into a live action movie and people are going to go see it. This one came out around Christmas. It was the week of Christmas in 2024, and it was just like, let's go make money. But that was an unnecessary one, especially after, Lion King live action came out in 19, and that didn't do, like, it made money, it made a lot of money, but like the critic side of things, it wasn't like, oh, this is awesome. So we kind of had kind of a similar thing on that one with Mufasa a little bit. It was, yeah, it is what it is. So let's go to 25. There's been a couple really good ones, but there's been a lot of forgotten films, a lot of bad ones, not a whole lot in the middle. But let's go to 25, and this is another one that goes on that award of like potentially one of the worst movies of the last 5 years. God, they're all Disney too. It's Snow White, so bad. Um, I'm sorry if you saw this one. This one had all problems across the board, but my goodness, that movie was dreadful. I have nothing else to say about that. Elio, Pixar, came out in the summer of 25. I thought they did a very poor job of marketing this film. Really poor job of getting people to the audience. And then they blamed everyone for not going to go see it. But the problem was there was a lot of people that had no idea it was even coming out. So your marketing on that one, Disney blew it. Was it a cute film? Yeah, it was cute. I thought it wasn't the best, but should have done a whole hell of a lot better in the theaters, in my opinion. Marketing plan sucked. I remember talking to people like a month before that thing came out, and they had no idea a Pixar movie was coming out in the summer 25. So I don't know what they were doing there. Lilo and Stitch came out. That was the live action Lilo and Stitch. Once again, unnecessary. You got creatives. You can create something better. But we go back to live action. We don't need to beat a dead horse on that. Just not great. The next two I actually didn't see. So only two I didn't see were late 25. And they were Freakier Friday and then Tron Ares, which Tron I got scared away from very fast by all the critics. Yeah, it was really badly reviewed, so I didn't even waste my time. Freakier Friday just didn't have any interest. But overall, I heard that was actually not as bad. It had good reviews and things like that. I think it had like a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that, which is good. And I believe, if I remember right, that actually like tripled its money. Tron, I believe, lost money. So yeah, we'll kick those to a side. It seems like one was good, one was bad there. Zootopia 2, very good. Love that one. As I'm looking through this list, that might be the best movie for me over the last 6 years that Disney has kicked out, by quite a bit of a space. So Zootopia 2, very good. I thought they did a great job continuing that story, and they knocked it out of the park on that one. Let's jump to 26, this year that we're in right now. I'll make this pretty quick because they are new releases. Hoppers, good. Really much enjoyed it. It sounds like, based off of what we're hearing the last couple of days, Disney wasn't happy with how it performed in the box office, which is insane to me. But I thought Hoppers, they made $300 million, I think, in the box office, if not more. So they did pretty good. And then Toy Story 5, solid film. I thought it was much better than 4. Was it a necessary addition to the Toy Story saga? No, but it was a fun story, and I enjoyed it. And I overall thought, we brought in some fun new characters, got to see some old characters, and it's performed very well in the box office. And it's, there's been a lot of people have walked out happy, which is what you want to do with movies. So it's gotten the biggest thing done. It's good and it's enjoyable, and people are walking out like, all right, cool, I got my money well spent there. So Toy Story 5 has been a success. Moana, on the other hand, is a box office disaster. Back to the live action thing. we don't need any more of these, and hopefully Moana is one of the biggest nails in the coffin of this thing. I know they have a few that they've already announced they're going to say they're coming, but this might be the first scare tactic of, all right, let's knock it off. I don't think I have too much else to say. It's just it'll be interesting to see what Disney announces here over the next week. It's going to be interesting to see what they announce at D23. And this one, I'm just focusing in on the entertainment side of it, not the parks, videos, movies. And it's very much these big ticket movies. Because the funny thing about it is they just haven't released a lot of big ticket movies over the past 6 years. Disney Pictures, that is, that have been successful. Looking at this list, I've got two right now, sitting right now. I would say you probably had two that caused celebration, and that was Inside Out 2 and Zootopia 2. I think were the two that you could honestly say, yeah, we crushed it and we did good here. But everything else is like either it was good or it was bad. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Till next time, have a great day.